Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kyle here from Palm Design Co. Brand new week, brand new project. I am a week back. I was sick, hence the reason for my raspy voice. So if you could please bear with me, that would be awesome. But yeah, so just looking at this particular project, my initial stage, as always, begins with the sketch. For this particular one, though, it was a bit different. I got my idea out of my head to start off with, without really referencing what I could be doing or what I wanted to do. So this is without looking at any inspiration on Pinterest or Google Images. I kind of just sketched out what was in my head onto a piece of paper or my iPad. As you can see, the sketch is not in proportion, it's very rough, and that's when I kind of tweaked it, got my proportions correct. The idea was starting to come into fruition as I was refining. So that's how I went about this process this time around, a bit different to what I usually do. When I usually start off, I've got an idea or I've got a reference. I usually use a bunch of pictures as inspiration and kind of eyeball it from there, but this time around, to start off with, I didn't. So yeah, this is again just refining the edges, refining the lines. I do this in about 3 or 4 stages where I will correct, I will refine, I will correct, I will refine, to the point where I'm happy with the base image, and that's when I'll lower the opacity and then start using the circle methods I've discussed before in my previous videos. Where you will then just use various different circles and sizings to get your lines nicely weighted and straight. I never try and use any straight lines in these sketches and these logos. If there is a particularly straight line, I will always try and give it some kind of curve or angle, even if it's very subtle. It just gives, I feel it gives more dimension to a logo or an image or a sketch or whatever. So avoiding straight lines at all costs, I think it just looks better in the end. So just starting to color in my linings. As you can see now, it's starting to look more like a logo, it's starting to look more like a reputable sketch. So this is where it really starts to refine. Kind of at this stage too, nothing's permanent. Still looking to probably improve something here or there. This is where you can add in ideas, and this is the evolutionary process of the whole logo. But I was happy with that, so move straight into Adobe Illustrator. Even at this stage in Illustrator, I do sometimes come up with different ideas. So although I'm finished with the sketch, I do sometimes change things up in Illustrator. I will come up, more often than not, I come up with a new idea as I'm going along, and so I mean, the sketch isn't the be-all and end-all of the design. Continue to have some creative license, and you know, make sure that you don't copy the sketch to a T. You know, use it as inspiration, but if you think something's better as you go along, add it in there. So yeah, not going into detail as to how I create the vector file, but I build in certain stages, as you can see. I don't try and click it out all in one. By building it in sections like this, I think it gives you a lot more freedom. You're able to do it quicker, and you can fix things. I save and I copy and paste a lot. If I need to go back and change anything, that's where it's super important. And once you've meshed everything together, that's kind of what you'll get over there. So good thick lines, happy with that. It's at this point where add my layers, start shading. As you can see, if I toggle on all my layers right here, I was keeping to a yellow-blue theme. That's the colors of the school, so added that and started to add my highlights and shadows. And this is where we added some text. With the text or the word mark, you usually go with some generic text, but you want to add your own bits to the text. Like as you can see here, I chopped off some of the the inside portions of the text, and then added just a half shadow to the main badge. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the end product, and we'll speak to you soon. That's me for this week, guys. Thanks again for watching. If you want to ask any questions, these are all our details, so feel free to do so. Thanks again, guys. See ya.